we recording yet?
Yep, we're recording.
Okay, good. Edgar, you're good? Alright, why don't we open the meeting since we've got so much to cover? Erin, good evening. I think you're first on our agenda, so
Good
if you
evening.
wanna come up and have a seat. Good to see you.
Thank you, good to see you too, thanks for having me.
Sure.
So I just want to get in the habit of providing quarterly-ish updates.
Sounds good.
And you know, being here so that if you have questions for me or us, you'll have that opportunity to ask us. Of course, you're able, welcome to reach out to us anytime.
Thank
But knowing that you have a long agenda, I'll try to be relatively brief and leave time for questions. I think I'll talk a little bit less about finances than I thought. We just finished a fiscal year, end of March 31st. We just finished our annual operating appeal, and it reached our goal, so thank you to everybody around who participated in that. We started the year April 1st with a balanced budget. Since then, things have changed. So we are trying to revise our plans and budget for the year, but we will carry on as we do. And then we do have still, so operating is a challenge, and some of the grants that we lost, they're project grants, but they were also helping as part of that cover staff salaries, so that's why sort of they do impact operations a bit. We do have the Lilly Endowment grant that you may have heard about that is really focused on collections and interpretation. That's private funding, that will not be impacted.
That was the really big one you got back in the spring,
Yeah, and so
$2.5
that's
million.
gonna help absorb some of the other
Oh,
things.
good.
We're having to shuffle priorities, so some things will have to go on hold while other things, but so we certainly have plenty that we can still be doing, and that will help keep those projects moving forward. It's also the season where we're trying to get our building projects approved and ready to go. Our meeting house preservation project is fully funded, and we have our historic building assessment in hand, which sort of provides the guidance. So now we're just reaching out, working with the Historic District Commission and the state to get the approvals we need, and then we'll be ready hopefully to go to construction on that this season. And that's mostly exterior envelope, and some electrical upgrades inside probably.
That's all in the meeting house?
The meeting house, yep.
Great.
And then some other things that we're working on, the carriage house, which is our visitor center, those ramps, I don't know if you know, they go, but then there's still a step up. So we're working to try to regrade those to make those a little bit safer and closer to accessible. There's still a chance that that will get done this season, this spring. We just met with HistoriCorps today, which is a group that could potentially help us with getting a lot of work done, and they looked particularly at the horse barn. Getting that roof replaced is likely to happen now with their help this summer.
Is that volunteer or is that non-profit?
So it's a nonprofit that sends out experts to manage volunteers. So it's sort of like AmeriCorps or Conservation Corps, where it's a combination. And so that's a really good way. And right now, the situation they're in is that most of their work is federal, and so their schedule is suddenly wide open. So to the extent that we can fund projects, they're eager to come do work here. So we're trying to make that happen.
Great.
We're also working on improving our fire detection and alarm systems. I know that that's been an issue where we've been relying on the town more than we should have. We have a phased plan. Phase 1 is funded and ready to happen. That will do the Dewey School, the trustee's office, and the Hubbard building, which are our offices, those 3 buildings on the west side of the road. And then the second phase, for which we've submitted a grant application, would do the Carriage House Visitor Center, and then the Creamery and the East House. And those 6 are prioritized because of the buildings where people are living and where they're used the most.
Yeah.
So we hope to get those 6 buildings done this year, and then we'll keep picking away. And what we're doing is moving to an individual building system. Right now, they're all networked together, wires run underground, and it's just the 31 standing faults, and we just can't figure out where they are. So we're just gonna go to each building calling out individually, and that'll make it, one, easier to phase the work, but also where we're not relying on things that we can't access.
You'll know precisely which building is.
Yeah,
Alarm.
we'll still have problems, but they'll hopefully be isolated, that's the intention, right, down the
Yeah.
road, we'll still have that work to do. A couple other things that we're working to do is improve the public bathrooms in the Brethren shop. I don't know if anyone's been in there lately, but it's a little submarine-ish in there. So we're trying to do that, but those cost estimates came in way higher than I was hoping. So we're out fundraising for that again. And then the last thing that I think I might have mentioned that I was really hoping to do before this season is bring back food service. And unfortunately, given the state of things, that's gonna take me a little bit longer, so we won't be bringing that back right now. And then just a little more good news on the events and admission. Our events calendar is shaping up nicely. We have a good, I think, variety of public events, workshops. We have a series of 7 special tours. We have the summer concert series and that kind of thing. So those are available on our website at shakers.org/events. And you can start checking those out. Some are still populating, but there's a good thing going. We're also gonna be offering free admission to all Canterbury residents again. I know for a moment that had gotten paused, but we're offering that again. And then as we have done in the past several years, we'll still be offering free admission to everyone under 21 as well. So hopefully we'll be able to, residents will be able to feel comfortable coming and spending some real time there.
Erin, will you be sending that all, that information to the newsletter?
We will,
please?
we're gonna put that in the May newsletter, we
Okay,
open
thank
May
you.
17th, so that'll be when we're getting going, we'll get
Okay.
that out, so. I think that's my rapid fire update, do you have any questions or concerns for me?
That's a lot of information, that's great.
I know, sorry, I can talk fast, but
No,
I'm
no,
trying
no,
to be
that's-
in the interest of everyone's time, I'm trying to get it out there.
No, I can't think of any. Calvin, questions? Yeah.
No, it's great to know that even though some of your grants have been lost, that your big one is private and that's still going to be able to.
Yeah, and it is,
Be able to use that.
grants
That's
is always restricted money, it's for something specific. But this one is big enough that it can do a lot of the things, like we lost a little NEH grant. But most of what we were gonna do, we can do as part of this other one anyway. So it's hard, it's a shuffle, and we'll have to, of course, watch boundaries and make sure we're not over, squeezing too much into that grant, but there's still plenty we can be doing moving forward. Again, I don't know how many times I said fundraising in that report. The limiting factor, of course, is our ability to find funding for these things.
Yeah.
But to the extent that we can fund them, we're ready to do them.
That's great, that all sounds really positive, so good.
Try to be,
Yay.
yeah, good. Well, come visit us anytime,
Thank you.
and let me know if you have any questions or
Yeah,
concerns.
and
Okay.
great idea on regular meetings, Erin.
Yeah, well,
Wholeheartedly.
we'll try to remember, between
Yeah.
the two of us, we'll try to remember.
There you go.
Okay.
Erin, I will
Yeah.
have a couple of questions afterwards about something completely different, what's the best email to reach you at?
So it's ehammerstedt
Yeah,
and at shakers.org.
okay, perfect, thank you.
Good night, thanks
Thanks,
again.
Erin.
Alright, Evan, since you were good enough to get here early,
Yeah.
somewhere, I think
That
we
is
do have,
in the appointments, the folder on top.
Yep.
In
I
the
thought I saw
manila
something.
envelope,
Got it, the one marked Evan, I bet.
yes.
Is that where you got one?
Yes. Do you have?
Okay. Alright, Evan, go right ahead,
I guess I've never done one of these before.
just talk to us, it's,
Um,
yeah,
I think because Canterbury as the town, we're approaching the tricentennial, it's important that we recognize that we were not, or the white settlers that came here were not the first people to live on the land that we now call Canterbury. And a land acknowledgement shows a formal recognition that the town knows that we are on stolen land and it was not originally inhabited by Europeans.
so what are you suggesting, Evan?
So there's different things that towns and cities do. Some they'll just like have a note about it at meetings, some require public buildings to be displayed with a land acknowledgement. Like in Dover, like I go to the parking garage before class, they'll have a land acknowledgement up on the thing saying this facility is located on, and then they have their spiel about the native people. And then I brought these are just maps of the different groups which I list in the proposed land acknowledgement. It's from Native Land, which is a nonprofit organization in Canada.
Evan, you always check all the boxes with your research. Well.
That was just pulled from the website, so.
Gotcha.
When you, I saw that you sent us, you emailed us the letter with the, sample wording. Could you, also send us a link to these documents so we could look at them a little?
Yes.
More fully?
Yes, I wasn't sure, this is just a research from Indigenous New Hampshire, I'll also send a link to this.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
Go ahead.
the Indigenous New Hampshire collaborative, just explaining what a land acknowledgement is, and I can also send that out.
Sure, I think that's a great idea.
And then it gives a few examples of other towns. In New Hampshire, it's not as common as like, in Massachusetts, a lot of cities and towns do it. A lot of universities have one, but towns and cities also have one just to recognize officially that that's a thing that they know happened.
I like these samples of the, you know, how this could be displayed.
So some places go about it by like, they have like a plaque on a building, or some places they'll just like say like for a meeting like this, in the minutes, it would just be like at the top. But every town does it differently, I don't necessarily have a suggestion on which to implement, I just think it's important that we acknowledge the Indigenous people.
And do you see this specifically being like, though it's important now, do you see it being part of the tricentennial, like some sort of presentation and a gathering or a ceremony when we do the acknowledgement or put a plaque?
Possibly,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm sure Naomi would be happy to hear another event on the list. And what do we need to decide or not decide about this evening?
So I'm thinking, at this point, I'd certainly have time to study what Evan has provided us. I think, you know, we put this off till our next meeting, or, Kelly, you working on the agenda for the next meeting yet?
Always.
I was afraid you'd say that.
If you could send us those links, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
Yes, I can
And,
just send them to Cal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they'll get distributed from there.
and if you had any further thoughts in how you think the town might implement it, or, I mean, I can see the, you know, the sample of the plaque, or, you know, if you see it as being part of the tricentennial or something else, that would be helpful too.
Yes, for the most part, when a land acknowledgement is put in place, it will be something, like it doesn't have like a time limit, like it's acknowledged, it's intended to be an acknowledgement that lasts forever.
Right.
So like if it was gonna be something like putting it on town documents, we'd have to you'd have to keep in mind that that will be something somebody has to do forever. So
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so like maybe like a plaque, while it still shows that we acknowledge the origin of the land, it also wouldn't require as much upkeep for the, like you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being more of a plaque in certain places around town or a.
Yeah.
Or, do they do historic signs like the one that's up at the Worcester, at the church?
Oh, do they do, what do you?
Do you do like, does the state of New Hampshire do like the big green signs?
I have never seen one,
Okay,
so I don't think so.
plaques seem more our style.
Any other questions or comments tonight?
This is great, thank you, Evan, for coming up with this idea and presenting it. And I think there's a lot more to talk about in both, in this committee and in the tricentennial committee.
Agreed.
And,
All right.
yeah, send the links along, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
thank you, Evan.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Appreciate your
Evan.
time.
Did all, yeah.
Alright. Ken, I'm thinking we'll take things a little out of order. Fred's sitting here with us.
All right,
Why don't we
Yep.
do that? Fred, if you wanna come forward?
So did Ken forward you some documents or links to documents that I provided?
yeah, I think I forwarded an email from Fred about Soul Smart. I don't know if the link was on there or not, Fred. I had trouble on the first one and I got the second one, but I don't know if I got that sent out or not.
Okay, Clean Energy New Hampshire signed up with this program called Soul Smart, which is a national program. It's actually federally funded, which is a little scary, but they claim they're in good shape. So, it is a program to help communities come to best practices in zoning and regulation, planning, zoning and inspection processes for solar development. Whether it's residential, commercial, whatever. Their goal is not to demand any particular responses from us, but is to help us be aware of what best practices are across many different communities and in the industry. There's no charge for it, there's no demand except for our time and effort in reviewing the voluminous documents that they send us to go over. And I can leave these, just a couple of emails that came
Thank you,
from
sir.
them. And those are just copies of things I already have on my computer, so
Okay.
you're welcome to have them for reference. And if you want, I can send those to you electronically if you'd like.
Yeah, have you shared any of this, Fred, with the planning board?
Yes.
Okay.
Although I don't know how many members of the planning board have actually seen it, but I did discuss via email with Greg Mee before I signed up.
Very good.
And he and Ruth Heath and Tom from the Community Power Committee all said, gee, this sounds like a good idea, why don't we sign up? And now we're at the point of actually needing to review a lot of documentation which involves planning, zoning and inspection. And I don't necessarily know the right people to call to put together a task force to. So that's kind of the help I need from you
Okay.
if we're gonna do it.
I think you'll probably find out a lot more when you go to your first meeting, don't they help you step by
The first meeting
step
has
through.
already happened,
Oh, okay.
and it was recorded so it can be viewed. So there's a link to that.
And where do we find that link?
It's on those pages, but that's not helpful if I
No,
would have to send you.
Can you forward that to us?
actually,
Yeah, what's the best way to?
Ken's forwarded everything that you sent to him. Are
So
those links included in that?
They should be,
Do we want the 2025 Soul Smart New Hampshire cohort, is that the link?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so obviously we'll need time to look through this.
Oh, yeah.
What's the best way to send things to you?
Through Cal,
Through Cal?
yeah,
Administrative assistant?
yeah,
At canterburynh.gov. At canterburynh.gov.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, this has got,
yeah, lots
it's
of,
got everything.
yeah,
so that's what I am, since really the program is already begun.
yeah.
The next meeting, the next sort of working meeting, I think is the 17th. So we good if we can start talking to people.
So Fred, is this just you at the moment who's going to these, or did anybody from CCPC? Nobody from the Energy Committee
I
is going
think-
with you, right?
Ruth, I think Ruth attended the kickoff meeting and I did.
Oh, good.
As a Zoom thing.
Yeah,
As I said, they recorded it so anybody can look at it. And that's where it stands right now. In fact, one of the things they do, one of the services they provide at the beginning of the process is they look on our website and pull out everything they can find on these topics of planning, zoning, and inspections and permitting for solar projects. And they kind of feed that back to us in documents that they send us, which there are links to. As of today, I believe Ruth went ahead and updated them on the changes that were made at town meeting. So
okay,
things are underway.
yeah.
Great. And this is, you said, I wonder how what's funding them, if this is all a free service to the towns?
It's federal funding,
It is.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then the thing that actually attracted me, because in the Community Power Committee, which I'm only a recent member of, but there was the big discussion about more solar installation for the town. And because one of the things they offer is consulting for big projects, that's what really caught my attention and made me want to pursue it.
yeah,
Although, their emphasis is on best practices for planning, zoning, and inspection, and so forth. But they also offer this other level of consulting for projects, so.
And you said commercial and residential, right?
I
So-
think so, yeah.
If we decided to do another solarized Canterbury, they could possibly be involved with that?
They could.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's one of the questions they ask, in terms of our history is, have we done something like that?
Yeah.
And yes, we have, so,
Usually successfully too.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
yeah.
Great.
So I just wanted to put that in front of you all and hope to get some help in knowing the best people to talk to pull together all these different departments.
okay. Very good,
Great. I'll
Okay.
take
Thanks,
the
Fred.
links and,
Yeah,
great. Thanks, Fred.
sure.
Thanks for stepping up to do that. When's the next one? When's the next meeting? Do you?
I think it's the 17th.
It says 17th, 12 to 1:30.
Oh, yeah.
They're once a month, these meetings, and then on a weekly basis, they have a sort of informal drop-in session via Zoom for any issues or discussion or help that's needed. So
yeah,
those are the services they offer. And there's one of the people at Clean Energy New Hampshire, who was our contact, and she said, call me anytime, you know.
Great. Okay,
Alright,
good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred. A great plan.
yeah,
Just identify potential commercial solar.
They pretty much, as far as I know, help towns that are looking to do solar anyway to work through the process. If you haven't done it before, so pulling all the pieces together.
alright. Rich, are you here for the Aries engineering study?
I was here for the solid waste committee membership thing because that caught my attention.
Okay,
But I can be here for the Aries also.
yeah, it's up to you.
Put them both together.
Yeah, why don't we do that, why don't you come on down and. Is this something you want to solve this committee membership?
I think Ken kind of put it on there.
Okay,
Well,
Ken, was that you?
Well, we did it after I went to the first meeting and we were just looking through the mission statement and
Okay,
just trying to get the context of how the committee's working, that's all.
There is a folder for it and there's the areas engineering stuff, so
Okay.
folder
Yeah,
is
I
under
got
new business and areas
Yeah.
engineering is under old business.
okay, gotcha.
Don't mix up your folders, Scott. You'd be lost all night.
Lots of folders, alright,
Those are the previous documents that you asked
Yep.
for.
yep. Alright, do you wanna start?
Well, no, I guess my question was, we had talked at the meeting just a little bit about, the mission statement of the solid waste committee and what the membership was. And there had been, it's written in there that the, representative from from the transfer station would be on the committee. My question at the time was, why isn't there? And I think, your answer just led us to, think that perhaps there was worth more discussion about why, you felt that it wasn't germane to the conversation to have somebody from the transfer station there. So I just went back and looked, through town reports and things to see who's been on the committee since like 2016. And whenever we had a transfer station manager, they were part of the committee. 2021, after Mark Marr resigned, there wasn't, as a matter of fact, it was odd because the solid waste committee wasn't even listed in the 2021 annual report, but,
COVID.
okay. 2022, we didn't have a transfer station manager, but there was a nice dedication to the staff at the transfer station.
Yeah.
And then, starting in 2023, that transfer station person wasn't, listed. So I think, knowing your concerns about, or the committee's concerns about the transfer station and how it works, it just seemed like a good person to have there, and considering it was in the mission statement, I guess.
What are you referring to as a mission statement?
The one from 2016 when it was formed, that was written by the,
We don't
board
have
of-
that, that's previous to us.
It's the committee that was previous to you perhaps, but not previous to the committee. So
I
that
haven't
was,
seen anything of the such.
oh, well then, one moment, I think I have it.
Yeah, I do as well, so.
So it's, that's one March,
But it hasn't been on the website, we just went to the new website and I didn't know there was literature.
I can't get out from under here, but this is the mission statement from when the committee was formed. And then I've got the one from 2025 that I think just went up on the website that just is, I'm not sure where the 2025 one came from, but this is the original one from when the committee was
This is
formed.
on the website now, so.
Yes, 2025.
This is the same thing as this?
That's the mission statement that's up on our website?
Yeah, Ken asked me to put it
Well,
up,
it's-
cause it.
What do we do?
What do we do, yeah, which might not be the same as the mission statement, but that's the document from when the committee was reformed after the recycling committee was disbanded in 2016.
Oh, this is from 2016.
Yes, I think it says that.
Can I just have a minute?
Mm-hmm, sure.
It sounds really close to what we've got here, and I wrote this here unbeknownst to this.
Okay.
The only difference might be who's included, this doesn't list who's
Okay.
included, that's all, the
Yeah,
makeup of the committee.
okay. No, you mentioned it, it was at the end of our meeting, very end, we hadn't discussed it, and I said, yeah, sounds like a good thing to discuss it, and I responded because I took the initiative to take and respond to that in addition to your other question that you had, so.
But it didn't seem, I'm just curious, I guess, because it didn't sound like the transfer station input you felt was valuable to the committee's conversation. And going back through the minutes.
I disagree with you there, I didn't think it was not valuable, I was indifferent to it. Your question was at the very end of the meeting as we were breaking up and walking out the door. And I said, well, maybe I was trying to wrap up the meeting because of the time,
Correct.
because there were members that had to leave, so if we continued the discussion in the committee, it would have ended up being in private and not in the committee,
Correct, I'm just
so.
replying to your email response to me.
Okay.
That's all. So regardless of what was said then or said now, it sounds like, according to the mission statement, that, you know, going forward, it would be helpful to have the transfer station be included in the discussion of how the transfer station is going to be organized. That's the sum total of my concern.
And I don't disagree with you there.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, it was a comment that you had made at the end of our committee meeting, and I said, let's talk about it
Okay,
in
okay,
Yeah, and I think, Rich, moving forward, the solid waste committee serves at the pleasure of and is appointed by us. So we want the solid waste committee to have a representative from the transfer station at meetings.
Okay.
Alright, anything else on that?
no,
Alright. Anything else from you, Rich? Alright, why don't we move on to the Aries?
Rich, can I have a scrap of paper back with my
Yes,
poor,
you can.
my poor little bit scrap of paper?
of that though?
Yeah.
At some point?
Calvin, do you have that electronically?
I do, and it's up on the website now. So on the solid waste committee page,
Okay,
above what do we do, I added a section for mission statement.
okay, when did you put it there? Cause I just printed this like,
A week ago.
okay,
It could also be a issue with the cache, which we've been having where it doesn't reload the page every time that you go to the page, so you might have the old version cached on your computer.
okay,
I'm trying to figure out a way to fix that.
Yeah, it's here now.
That balances performance and this,
okay.
so.
What's the way to clear the cache? Control Shift R, is that the? Oh,
Just turn the whole computer off at once. Hold the button and turn it back on.
Delete everything and then,
it might be there now, Rich, I can see it here, so.
Hey, Rich, I just emailed that mission statement to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then Rich, you can share it with the other members of the solid waste committee.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, no, we got a meeting coming up next Monday,
Okay.
14th, so, yeah.
And I guess that'll be making sure that David can make the meetings is other
Right.
important step.
But probably even if he's not, if he's copied in on things, that
Yeah.
we can,
Ken, can you check with Dave on that?
Yes, I'll make sure David is aware and make sure that he knows that he can attend those and be paid for it.
Very good, thank you.
oh, that's important.
Yes, it is. All right, if we're done with that, Ken, I'm thinking we move on to Aries.
Yep.
While
So you should have the scope there. And I've sent that, I've emailed that to you. Rich has a copy of it. So basically, all you need to do is sign it tonight, and then we can call Aries and they can start the work.
Rich, anything you wanted to discuss with us about this?
I thought that the committee was gonna be involved in, determining the scope, or included in the discussion for the scope. And it doesn't seem that we were,
Okay,
or have been.
okay.
This is dated February 10th, so this was done. And Ken thought I had got this from George.
Okay,
I'm not sure I ever did.
yeah. And how about you had a selectman's rep that was attending your meetings?
That was Ken.
Right,
He never said anything about it.
okay,
But when you, we do have, I think, a communication from you to Aries Direct that had 2 items that were the first 2 items on this scope here, so those 2 items that you presented to Aries are certainly
Okay,
in here. We added to the list, but primarily from discussion that you'd already had in committee, so in addition to anything else that we thought, whatever those next 4 topics are, you discussed as perhaps being included with the new transfer station, but it seemed appropriate to see if any of them could be done at the old transfer
Okay.
station. So that's why they're included, so I don't know, we took your lead, the 2 things you had, the salt shed and the building for the recycling, which we included.
yeah. What's not here, Rich, that you think should be?
it's not so much. I'm concerned that this added things, this additional stuff is gonna be too much for what's being budgeted. About the offer, the additions that were added on,
Excuse me.
if they can do all this for $6,000, I'm surprised.
Ken, my understanding is this scope of work is from them, correct?
That's it, that's a contract, that's their cost, and we've been working with them for many, many years, and they have always provided the information they've said they would.
Yeah.
Alright,
I have no reason to doubt what they've written down there.
okay. That's fine,
Yeah,
that's fine.
okay,
No, I had just gotten this from Ken just prior to our meeting, so I hadn't really
Okay.
had a good
gotcha,
look at it.
okay. Prior to tonight's meeting?
No, I did read it tonight,
Okay,
so we're good.
alright. Okay, assuming the other select board members had a chance to read through this, good with it?
Mhm.
Ken, do we need a motion on this? Sorry, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you should have a motion on this, is the contract.
Alright, so I'll make a motion that we accept the contract from Aries Engineering for the study at the transfer station.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye? And Ken or Cal, it looks like just one signature.
Yeah, that's just that one signature.
And they can start right away, yes?
Yeah, I'll get a hold of George on Wednesdays and let him know. We'll send him a copy of the signed scope and the contract, and they'll start right off.
Alright,
Alright, cool.
anything else?
I don't think so.
No, thank
Alright,
you.
thank you, Rich.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it. There's that count.
Have a good night,
You've
guys.
got it.
Okay.
You too, thank you. Do you have business with us, sir?
Nothing, I'm just here listening.
Welcome, glad to have you. Hang out.
I got nothing,
If you do, throw a hand up.
I was just bored.
Glad you're here. It's nice to have somebody in the audience. Alright, why don't we start with, Ken, accounts payable manifest, I'm thinking?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, I've got, wow, this is another large one. Alright, accounts payable manifest in the amount of $538,820.90.
Whew.
I'm assuming there's a school somewhere in there.
Yeah,
Should be, yeah.
Mary usually marks it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not seeing it. It's gotta be.
Show
in
me
there.
if I can.
Yeah, I just like to make sure on something that large,
That's always a good.
yeah,
Shaker Regional School District,
very good.
that's right,
Okay,
right there,
excellent. Thank
500
you.
and 3,000.
Got it, 500, yeah, so that's the bulk of it. Alright, looking for a motion.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Yeah, the school,
Yeah.
you brought that good pen today.
Look at you, I brought two just in case.
Signature.
Alright, that's good, thank you. Alright, next is the payroll manifest in the amount of $58,905.75.
So moved.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Alright. Ken or Cal, do we need a motion on the welfare manifest, or we're just gonna reading?
No. No, you don't need a motion on that.
Thank you.
So there's two welfare manifests.
Yep,
We have case numbers now, so they're
Okay.
labeled by case
I
number,
see that,
that way
yep.
it's a little more traceable what's going on.
Yeah.
So there's one right there, and then the second one has checks attached to it, and I need
Okay.
somebody to sign those checks.
okay, understood. All I'm seeing, Cal, is a check stub.
The second, there's.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
alright, I'll pass that down then. And I'll sign. Got it. Alright, I'll just pass these two checks down, just so you can have a look at them, they don't need to be signed, but.
Can I see that one more second?
Of course. Thank you. Now I'll give you these. Thank you. Alright, I have several appointments, it looks like.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah,
we need them. Alright, first is for Lisa Carlson, zoning board of adjustment alternate member.
that's in addition to being secretary, so
That is
Yeah.
correct, yeah,
And it's a reappointment, the
Yeah.
reason that we're signing this off, she's not up until like next year, but the ZBA wanted to rearrange, restagger the people because everybody was gonna be up in 2027, so they didn't want that to happen.
makes sense, yeah. And I know we did check
Oh.
and,
We need the
thank you. Just that one sheet, Cal?
yes.
Trade you that for that,
Yeah.
give you that. Just like to see, that's that's my fault.
Well scribbled.
Yeah, public school.
Alright, next is Scott Herrick, also zoning board of adjustment as a full member, it looks like, for 3 years. Ken, can we, never mind, I just answered my own question.
That's always a time saver.
Exactly. Thank you.
What's that?
Gotcha, alright, Jim Week, zoning board of adjustment member for 3 years.
Who's up next on that?
I don't-
I was appointed every year.
Right,
Yeah,
yes,
I just went through Sam's binder
Yeah.
and we're actually like pretty good now.
good, and I see
With,
another,
Christopher Evans is up next year and
okay,
they're planning on getting at least one more alternate and they
Very
want
good.
those alternates to have 1-year terms, that way they
Okay.
also come up next year,
okay,
to try to even things out, so there'll be at least a couple of 26s,
Okay.
some 27s, a few
yeah,
28s.
that makes
okay, perfect.
So is Brendan still an alternate then, even though he's on the?
That is
full-time?
correct,
Okay.
we did check with, Ken, if you wanna speak to that, we did check with town council.
Yeah, we checked with NHMA and yeah, there's no reason that that Lisa can't be an alternate and that one member of the planning board can also be a member of the ZBA.
This can't be chairman, correct?
Correct.
So I guess that dashes any hopes that we might have, but. Alright, next is Audra Clone, Conservation Commission member for a 3-year term.
For Audra?
Yeah.
Oh, good, yeah.
Go.
Wetlands expert.
Oh yeah, that's right, I remember meeting
No,
her.
she's great.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
alright, next is Teresa Wyman, Conservation Commission member for 3-year term.
Member, not alternate, correct?
That is correct,
Okay.
member not alternate.
These are all reappointments
Yeah.
because they're up in 2025.
Our conservation is looking for another member or alternate if anybody's listening and wants to, is interested. We have a word for that.
Yeah, and I did see the newsletter, which hopefully people will read and maybe even act on.
Oh, yes.
On the need for really members and alternates in our boards and
Yeah.
commissions, so. Alright, Ken Stern, Conservation Commission member for a 3-year term.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, the last one is John Schneider, Community Power Committee member for a 3-year term.
Oh. Okay, good. And Cal, we're still, that's it for the appointments, there's no more? So we're still waiting for the energy committee?
The energy committee is all set, the ones that we're waiting on are, those are all set. I think the only one we're really waiting on for me to get you guys the stuff is the ag, commission.
Oh, yeah, because,
They're meeting for the first time in a while, next week, I think. So they're gonna discuss who still wants to be, cause they have 3 people up, and then they have one
Okay.
person who was appointed but never
Yeah.
signed their slip, so like it's
Oh,
not really valid,
Yeah.
and but they also haven't met since then, so
Okay.
they're gonna regroup and figure out a new chair, cause Ben Davis moved out of town, so
Yeah.
he can't be
Right.
on there anymore. So you might get a stack for ag
Okay.
commission at the next
when's
meeting.
the, do you have their meeting right there?
It is on the website,
Yes, I
um,
just can't remember.
it is April 15th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Just update everything on Google calendars, every meeting shows up,
Yep,
it's easy to find.
yep,
I have to write it in 3 places, including theirs, so
right.
eventually they all agree and get me to the right place in the right time.
Alright, so why don't we, next on the agenda, revised 2025 pay rates.
So that is because there were a couple miscommunications, both with the library department and the highway department about the new pay rates for people, so I had to do a second retro pay. And the thing that I had you sign last time, which shows the new pay rates for everybody, was incorrect. So if you look at the second page,
Yep,
the second page is what you originally signed, and there's crossouts, so you can see what's changed.
I gotcha, thank you,
I just
that'll
need
make
you
it
to
easy.
sign the new one.
So. Okay.
We don't have to motion this or anything, this is just housekeeping.
I believe that's correct.
Otherwise Ken would be yelling at us.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, they're not, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Wait for
there's that back. Alright, next on the agenda is the Enforcement Patrol Grant Agreement.
Yeah, Scott, this is a grant that the police department have. This is for extra detail or extra duty, for the police officers to do speed enforcement. It's a state grant and, it pays everything except for, the cruiser. They want a participation from the municipality. So it would pay everything except for the cost of a cruiser. but that's just, we fold that into the grant, into the work.
Is it speed enforcement within Canterbury, or when they
Yes, in Canterbury, yep.
specifically, just speed enforcement, that's it?
Yeah, what they do is they'll put an extra officer on duty and do speed enforcement on roads that they think it needs to be on. And it's a specific amount of time, and they have to log it, and then they report back to the state all their findings.
And it looks as though there's a ceiling of $8,200.
Yes, Yep.
And we track that and then submit at the end.
yeah. So it's a reimbursement grant. So what we do is we pay the officers out of payroll, and then we get reimbursed for the wages.
That's
And as I said, the match comes from the cost of the cruiser, and then administrative work. That makes up the match that the state requires.
Yeah, I saw that, in the county, that's something,
It's the same way we do it for the hazmat
right,
grants.
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks very familiar. So does anybody wanna look at this, and Ken, do we need a motion on accepting this grant?
Yes, it's a grant, so yes, you should.
You guys wanna look at it before we motion?
Can I look at it for 2 seconds?
Of course.
Now, is Canterbury PD, are they helping out with the 106 crackdown?
I believe, Ken, it would be limited to the part of 106 that's in Canterbury, correct?
It's any road in Canterbury. This is not directly related to that enforcement that they're doing, the increased enforcement on 106, but it does include, if they want to park out on 106 and do that, then they can do that too. But it's any road in Canterbury.
Yeah.
Looking at this is not going to tell me much of anything, so I'm going to assume, start signing.
See if that
Where's the grant come from?
State. Yeah,
Does it work in conjunction with anything we're doing on traffic or no?
no. It's kind of a standalone grant.
Who decides where they go?
Police chief, I would assume,
Okay.
yeah. And certainly, we all know areas of town where they could use some speed enforcement.
Yeah, really,
106 being one of them, but
shake a
there's
road.
other, I was just gonna say, there's other roads as well, but
You might as well sign while you're here, name and.
actually, we need a
Oh,
motion
oh,
first.
Yeah, motion to accept, motion and I'll
Yeah.
second.
Alright, so I'll make a motion that we accept the enforcement patrol grant agreement in the amount of $8,200.
Seconded, or so moved.
All those in
Wait,
favor?
second or so moved?
Second.
Second, I seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I think it's the late start time.
I think it might be.
And aye, by the way, for me as well.
It's start time, but if it was an early day.
Could go to Belmont, do it 10:30.
AM?
Yeah.
Really?
Been following that?
No,
Oh, Lord.
we'll have to talk after. Alright.
They've been talking about that for a long time.
Years.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Back at ya. Alright, next on the agenda is an escrow account policy procedure relating to establishing an escrow account for outside services that are required by the Canterbury Planning Board per New Hampshire RSA 673:16. Ken, anything from you on this?
Yeah, the state law, that RSA basically spells it out that the planning board can require escrow accounts set up for projects that the town may have to spend money on, whether it's engineering, legal review or anything like that. The proposed project down at Exit 18 is the first one we've actually had to do something like this, where the planning board has asked for legal review on some things. So we did not have a escrow policy before, so this is it.
Do we need a motion to establish the escrow accounts?
No, this is just a policy that you're signing, so you don't need a motion for that. We had the bank and legal review this policy to make sure it would be okay, and everybody gave their okay on that.
Follow the account.
I gave us 20 minutes for administrative, so, but we were ahead from the other
There you
ones,
go.
so can take another,
Yep,
takes what it takes.
yep,
This part.
exactly, that's so true. Thank you. Alright, moving on, land use change tax bill. And this is related to the lot line adjustment at the town cemetery property.
Oh, at Maple Grove?
Yeah. Ken or Calvin signatures on all the copies? It looks like there's two maybe.
Usually Mandy puts stickers where
She
you
only
actually
put one
sign.
sticker there, but I see this one.
Step 1, property owners or, oh, yeah, you don't need to do that.
Okay,
Yep, no, she
alright,
got
so
it right,
literally,
just
alright,
right here.
alright, so this is print. Usage. Oops. Alright, so that.
Is that?
Thank you. There's that Carol. Alright, next is an application for property tax credit or exemption. And in this case, it looks like it's a veteran's tax credit for tax map 102, lot 102, is that right?
I can double check.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that we're referencing the correct property, I don't see it on this one,
Could I see the,
of course.
thank you. Okay,
Excuse me.
yeah, that
Okay,
is correct.
Just a weird coincidence.
Yeah, I guess tax map 102 has many, many properties on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it must. Well, which actually makes sense, it's up in Sherwood, so.
Yeah, it has 151 properties on that map.
Oh.
2 pages.
There are two,
Oh,
I didn't,
missed, yeah,
oh, we all missed it. All right, we'll start over here again.
alright. Gotta pay attention to the blue,
Don't they put those big blues?
yeah. Good catch down there. Alright,
All right, let's try this again.
give us a second chance.
And you don't want me to text you guys saying you have to come in tomorrow.
Exactly.
So,
Thank you. You would have caught it during your QI audit,
hopefully.
when we handed it to you. Alright, next on the agenda is the contract for utility appraisal. I remember we had discussed this at a previous select board meeting. Ken, anything you wanna add on this?
Yeah, this is, we talked about this during, when we were going through the budgeting process. That, with all the upgrades to the, transmission lines, that we felt it would be, Mandy felt it would be, to our best interest to have a professional utility appraiser go and do an appraisal of all that work. So this is their contract for that.
So this is a contract with Brian D. Fogg LLC in the amount of $6,000. And as Ken said, Ken, would this be confined to the new transmission lines only, or?
Now, this is all the utilities in town.
Everything you're upgrading, right? And Mandy seemed to think we would get most of that back, is that correct?
We would get that and more back.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, she felt it would pay for itself, and so that would pay for itself for this year and then the following years out, so.
Yeah, okay. And do we need a motion on this, or we just sign it?
It's a contract, so you should have a motion.
Yeah, okay, so I'll make a motion, we accept the contract from Brian D. Fogg LLC in the amount of $6,000.
Seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Alright.
You're welcome. When will they start that? Is there a, is that an ASAP, that type of thing? Okay.
Oh, completion evaluation report transmittal date, completion of assessment recommendations on or before September 1st.
Oh, okay.
Alright, next on the agenda is an abatement recommendation from Mandy. Ken, I'm assuming you know about this?
Yes, this is a property, that is vacant right now. And I think you'll see in the, I think Sam had given you some info, or is gonna give you some information on deeding. And this is one of the properties that's gonna actually be up for deeding. They requested an abatement, so hopefully, if we can abate the taxes a little bit, what Mandy recommends, then maybe we can get them to pay and we don't have to go through the deeding process.
Okay. Alright, does anybody wanna look at this before signing?
No, I saw the
Okay,
rest of the documents.
The letter from Sam is in the old business section, and it's later on the agenda.
yeah, I did see that, alright.
I went to print it out, and I didn't realize it was a combined PDF, and the printer shot out like 12 pages.
gotcha, here. Give that to you
Yeah.
guys to, yeah,
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
yeah. Then Calvin, if you're comfortable, go ahead and sign, and then we'll just pass it this way.
I'm sign on the bottom, 'cause I'm always the bottom. Less
You could
than-
sign on the bottom and just hand the paper over here.
It's all good.
Sign on the top.
Yeah.
You got the power.
Let's tell us now, we're really late, I bet.
We're now 30 minutes into,
Alright, I'm gonna save Sam's for the deeding discussion. We'll put that back in there. There's the abatement. Gotcha. Alright, next is notice of intent to cut wood or timber. Lot 232 018 47 Borough Road. This all looks,
they took a picture of the application
Okay.
and emailed the picture to
Oh,
me, so
okay.
that's why
one way to do it?
it looks a little weird, and then Randy wrote on top.
Okay, alright.
Is that what you were gonna say? This
Yeah,
is a
it just
little
looked-
weird?
That's,
Okay.
As long as all the pieces are there.
Yeah, that's what, and I think they are, so.
and then you have one more surprise, please sign.
You have to
Surprise!
sign on the side, not underneath, but we can deal with it.
And
We
actually,
okay?
I'm gonna give you this. One less folder I have to go through. Alright, so,
Interfund?
yes,
It's a land use change tax, going to the Conservation Commission fund, I think.
okay. Good. Alright, sign, okay. Alright, and I think finally, interfund transfer from, TD Bank operating into TD Bank Conservation Commission Fund in the amount of $3,000.
Do we,
Alright,
do we need to correct the fact that it still says Kent Rustwood?
yes, we do.
Please, yep, please.
Can we just,
I will, you can just cross that out and write in
Initial.
Calvin and.
I'll let Calvin do that.
I will give a note to Mandy that it needs to get corrected.
Be ready
Thank you
with
for
me.
catching that.
Excuse me.
Now you're on the bottom.
Ah.
Alright, why don't we move on to the minutes?
So I only printed out 2 copies because the only feedback that I got was, on line 57, I spelled Pickard Road wrong, so it's
Oh.
Pickard, not not Picard, like from Star Trek. And then line 90, I wrote that, T1 is too old and we're not fixing it, and that's because I misunderstood what a wrecker is. So when John
Gotcha.
said we're waiting for the wrecker, I thought he meant we're waiting to send it to the junkyard. It means that they were waiting for the tow truck, so I'm gonna change that line to T1 won't start and they are waiting for the tow truck to come get it.
Okay,
So if everybody's good with those amendments, then
yep,
motion and such.
alright, so I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as amended.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Alright, that takes care of that.
And then I didn't have the executive session ones ready.
Understood,
Sorry about that.
no worries. Alright, so, let's see, we had Aaron, we had Evan, we had Fred. So that brings us, I believe, to Kearsarge Energy offer for group net metering.
Yep, I have, got some correspondence from this group, Kearsarge Energy. And they have, a bunch of solar panels, and they produce more energy than what they use. And they are able to sell that energy, those energy credits. And they're asking if we're interested in joining up with this. I talked to Tom Franco a little bit about it. He said that it's not a bad deal. We could certainly make more money or save more money if we were had our own panels, but we could possibly save the town some money by doing this. The representative Malcolm Bliss said he's willing to come to a selectmen's meeting and talk to you guys about it if you're interested.
Okay. I think certainly anything that will save us money, I'm interested in, just speaking for me.
Just so long as they can send the information first so we can look at it, so we don't have to decide sitting here.
Sure, yeah, I have some correspondence and I'll forward that to you guys. And then I'll invite them to the next meeting.
Sounds
Okay.
good, thanks, Ken.
Perfect, thank you.
Alright, traffic count.
Yeah, I had sent you guys an email, you, the highway department, planning board, a little while ago, asking for your input. Every year, the Central Hampshire Planning does traffic counts on 5 roads. And I had sent you an email a while ago asking for your input. I did get input back from the planning board. They felt that Baptist, Center Road, Dump Road, Shaker Road, and Oak Hill Road would be their choices. I had listed, if you look at the spreadsheet that I gave you, it goes all the way back to 2013 and shows what the vehicle counts were on each road and the years they did it. And if you look at, it's been 4 years since we did Center Road, 7 years since we did the Dump Road, 5 years since we did Oak Hill. And then Shaker Road, north of Shaker Village, it's been 4 years. So those were the ones that I identified just because of how many years we've been out. This is up to you. If you think there's a big project going on a particular road, or the planning board does, and they want a traffic count, then you can pick whatever road you want and they'll do it. But they do this and we have to give it to them now, and then they'll do it at some point this summer and get the information back to us next fall.
We only get 5 roads, right, Ken?
Correct.
So I would probably agree with the ones the planning board mentioned, but that's 4 roads, right? No, that was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, that's 5.
Yeah, well, the only other thing I'm thinking is with the potential large project going in at 18 would be West Road.
Who knows when that'll.
There's no.
And that is a state road. And we can do that if you want them to. I don't know if the state has a separate, I guess they've done 132, but I don't see on this list, I don't think they've ever done West Road.
Yeah.
So that might be a good one to do.
Got a lot of traffic on it.
Yeah.
The only other one I was looking at was Boyce Road, because where everybody comes right off it had it was done 3 years ago, no. It was done done in 2021, but it had almost 1,000 cars go through there, so it just seemed, I'd be curious to see if there's any more coming through there, but,
That'll change that 4-way stop sign now. A lot more people go to the 4-way than take that
Right.
corner.
yeah.
Agreed, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, they did do West Road. and they did it last year, 2024.
And the only other thing was, I think we talked about New Road, if they're going to be putting the school in there, but I don't know how much impact that will or won't have. And they did that only, I mean, that's not much, it was 300 cars in 2022. So, I don't know, that Boyce Road is no biggie, it was just more of a curiosity, to see what might come through there.
And looking at West Road, Ken, I'm thinking that 2024 probably gives us pretty up-to-date numbers. 1,500 cars, it looks like.
Yep,
I look at Hoyt Road, 18,000,
I know, isn't that crazy?
it really is.
At Boston, what's TO?
Town line,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
but they don't really come past there, cause if that's 18,000 and then nobody really comes straight down Hoyt, or we have Hoyt anywhere else in Canterbury? No, that's not us.
Right,
You think more of them would show up at Boyce?
yep, some anyway,
Yeah, there's only 900.
yeah.
Oh.
Alright, so are we agreed Baptist, Center, Dump,
Oak Hill,
yep,
and then the other one they said was Shaker's always north of the village would be, yeah, that was 800.
sure always, yeah, cause it hasn't been done in 5 years.
Yeah,
Wanna do that?
good by me, Calvin,
Okay, alright,
sounds
all
good.
right, thank you.
alright, that's yours.
Now I'll find my list where I've got that all marked down.
Yeah,
It's on the dash here.
alright, that's that. Alright, the transfer station agreement, we've got that set.
Yep.
Nothing further on that, I'm thinking from anybody.
No, I'll be just curious to hear what they have to say.
Right,
And I'm assuming.
The only thing I'll add on that is, I did send that to you guys on the 12th of February. So it went to you, the board. So, Selectman Russwick did get it.
Right.
I know he was on the committee and I guess he didn't, bring that forward to the solid waste committee.
yeah,
And I'm assuming as Aries goes through and does their assessment of the site, that they may come up with other points if they have time. They may look at something and you've worked with them before, so you know their.
Yeah, they'll give us a pretty comprehensive report. As it laid out in the scope, the first thing they want to do is contact DES and talk to them about the cap and, that hasn't been funded at the state level now for several years. So, but more or less look at the site and get their opinion of it to say, what can we do and what we can't do.
alright, anything further on that, otherwise we'll move on,
No, I don't think so.
alright. Pennacook Rescue Squad update.
Yeah, Beth and I both attended a meeting last week, with the county, in Boscawen and Pennacook Rescue. Salisbury was not in attendance that day. We talked about a whole host of grant opportunities and, I think it was a pretty productive meeting. Beth, I guess your opinion?
Yeah, it seemed that, in addition to the money that the Merrimack County was willing to chip in, that there was just a lot of ideas about places to scrounge for other money to fund them. And Lori also brought up a lot of ideas for, really looking at the fundraising angle of it, since they are a nonprofit and they're a 501c3, correct? So they can
Correct.
fundraise. And I think part of the future conversation might be what fundraising might look like. Ken and I talked a little bit about, talking them up to the town and their services and stuff, but wanting to be mindful not to overreach, what they do versus what Canterbury Fire does. So I think we'd have to be careful about that. They provide an important different service. So it seems a little odd to go gang ho and fundraise for them and not to support our, or it could look like we're not supporting our own department.
Yeah.
So I think we have to be careful about that, probably look to you and the chief to figure out how we can make that work, but there's lots of fundraising opportunity, I think. One of the things Laurie brought up is maybe, people who have actually been helped by Pennacook Rescue come forward and speak and, well, there was a lot of ideas floated and I think the conversation will be ongoing. And, both Sean and his deputy, whose name I cannot remember, went away with a list of to-dos too.
Good.
And the woman at the end who does the grants, I mean, they really are scouring the bushes, so.
Yeah.
It was a productive meeting and,
Good.
I think lots of places to look going forward.
Good.
One thing that did come out of that was that the question came up about the county for regional service. I know it was discussed at one point last year about the potential of the county taking over or sponsoring an EMS program similar to what's going on out in Cheshire County. And I think Merrimack County commissioners are really not looking at that at all. They're not at this time. They don't feel that it's something they want to take on.
Alright. Alright, next, ARPA funding reporting update.
Yep, I did the quarterly report last week, sent it in. That should be the last quarterly report for our receiving of the funds. Once the project starts, we're gonna have to report on the project, but that portion of the reporting is done. So once the project starts and then we start getting invoices and things like that, all that has to be tracked and then we'll have to send that in at some point next year.
Ken, is that list that we got back in like the beginning of 2024 with the road recommendations from John? I just found that today when I was filing, is that still our list, or can we, before the project actually starts, can we look at the scope of it again?
Well, that's up to you guys. That is the list that the reporting did not specify which roads in town. It just specified that material will be added. We've hired a contractor with a contractor. The town's gonna do some work. But that's up to you guys those are the roads that John recommended doing. And the material where they're gonna be added and stuff. But if you have other thoughts, then that's up to you to talk to John about.
No, I just found the list and I was wondering if that was what we were still working off of, so.
Yep.
File that away for future reference.
Sure.
Okay. Alright, moving on, leaning letter from Sam Pepps, which I think we've all looked at.
Yeah.
Ken, anything we need to do tonight?
No, this is an informational letter for you, so you're aware of the properties. And then in May, he will be coming to you with a deed list.
Okay. Alright, anybody wanna look at this again?
No, I've got
Okay.
it read through it this
Alright.
afternoon. Cal, do you
Yeah.
wanna see it?
No, I've got a copy.
Alright, and Cal, do you want this back or you want me to? Okay. Alright, that's that. Alright, select board reps for boards and committees.
In the old business is that list already?
I have a more complete list.
Ah,
And Cal, I'll give you this to you, I'm done, since it's got all the names on it. Alright, so for 2025, boards and commissions, I got emails from each of you and thank you. So, for 2025 Agricultural Commission will be Calvin. Community Power Committee will be Beth. Conservation Commission, Beth. Energy Committee, Beth. Historic District Commission, Calvin. Municipal Records Committee, Beth. Planning board, I will take that. Recreation committee, Calvin. Solid waste committee, Beth, you've already attended a meeting. Tricentennial committee, Beth. Fire, I will remain the liaison. Highway, Calvin, liaison to the highway department. I'll keep police. Sherwood Forest, Beth. And was there another that you wanted to discuss?
Historic District Commission, did we put that on? Oh, that's Calvin.
Yeah, you said Shaker.
Shaker Village was the other one that we
Okay.
had talked about at a previous meeting, having someone, and I didn't know how, we had talked back about whether we should add that. And we didn't actually know how they might interact
Right.
with the village, but I think having Erin come and talk to us is great, but
Yeah.
do we need somebody to go the other way?
I would think, Ken, does it make sense, a liaison to
Yeah, I think the relationship has improved quite a bit over the last few years. And Erin is really interested in meeting at least with you guys at least quarterly. And then, you know, if you want to, name one of you guys as the liaison, that's fine. At this point, I don't know that it's really necessary. They seem to have reached out to us and are interested in talking to us about a lot of stuff. So I think at this point, I wouldn't worry about it.
Go ahead.
you've got a full plate anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you guys have a lot to do, so,
Yes, we do.
and they seem to be communicating with us on a lot of things, so I think,
Yeah,
Might have been
I
more
agree.
helpful when they were being as communicative,
Agree.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
She wants to work with the town.
Yeah. It's 7:30 right now, Ken, at some point, I wanna have a discussion about the need for both community power and the energy committee. We also need to decide on reps to the state community power. So we've got some work to do there with Tom's resignation, so
Did they make any recommendations?
none that I've heard.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what concerns me.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who's left,
They have 3 people left, they've got
that's what concerns me.
Portnoy, John Schneider, and Cindy.
So it's a very small committee at this point.
when, it's funny because the opposite was true with the energy committee, and then the energy committee got a bunch of people.
Yeah, but maybe if we combine the two.
They have not been interested in combining, which doesn't mean we can't combine them,
Right.
but when it came up,
3 members left.
yeah. But it would still, of the members that are left, if even combined, I don't know who would be appropriate for state rep.
Exactly.
I would hope that
Well,
the,
we need a state rep, a primary,
yeah,
we need a second person as well.
Yeah, I think the important part of that is having that representative to the state group, because that's where a lot of the direction comes from.
Right.
And I think having a voice there is pretty important.
And Ken, do you get the emails from that group, the state group?
I do. I get all the emails from them. They're having a meeting. I'd have to look back. I think they're having a meeting next week. I don't know if anybody from Canterbury is gonna go.
Right, and their director, I believe, has resigned.
Yes.
They're searching for a new director, I believe, as we speak, so I think that, given the number of things that are going on, we have a stake in this as much as any other town, so.
Yep.
it seems like it would be worth a discussion, or at least some direction from us to the CCPC to say, look, it's really important for you to find somebody that they know what the job entails the best.
Correct.
So
If
come up
only we
with a
had
couple of,
someone who was a rep to that committee.
Oh, jeez, alright. Oh, I just got them? Okay.
They're meeting in 2 days.
There you
Yes.
go, okay,
Who's on that committee still?
What,
There's
who
only
did you say?
3 members left,
Well,
Fred and,
Tom and Cheryl will be there for this last meeting.
Yeah.
okay,
But it's Tinley, John Schneider, Fred Portnoy.
And who's on the energy committee?
Ruth, Heath, and, myself was as rep, Beth McGuinn,
And she works for Revision.
she works for Revision.
Okay, I'm just faces to names.
Yep.
Yeah.
you're doing good,
Steve Lundahl just joined, Ron Italian just joined, Sarah
Strumpet.
Strumpfer, I can never get her last name, Sarah Strumpfer, and I know I'm forgetting somebody down the end there. There's one other person whose name escapes me, but
Jeff O'Connell.
yes, Jeff Beltran.
that's right, yeah. So certainly at this point of the 2 committees, they're twice as large, so,
That happened in the blink of an eye.
yeah, it
Alright,
absolutely did.
well, there's a joint meeting coming up as well between the Energy Committee and Community CCPC. Meet every once in a while together,
Good.
so that at the next meeting, it's imperative.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
together.
That's the thing, it's,
Can we at this point say they must join? I forget where we are in the scheme of things, and they're appointed committees, right?
they are.
I'll strongly suggest.
I think they should all be thinking about it.
Okay, so I will make sure that I reach out to CCPC at least at the next meeting and say we gotta find
Yeah.
a warm body who knows how to do this
Right.
Okay.
And the backup,
in this state, okay.
yep. Alright, so getting back on track, Sand Lake House Garage, scope of work.
Yeah, so I sent you guys that scope of work and the invitation to bid cover letter. I just wanted to make sure you guys were okay with that.
Ken, just one question I had, and we had a person that got up at the town meeting and said something to the effect of, he didn't think we could, with a garage door in the front, properly seal the records. Am I correct? I thought we were talking about a facade and that the room would be insulated, sheetrocked, climate controlled.
Yeah, so if you look at the scope, and you go down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th bullet point where it says interior. It says there's a new wall, 2x6, approximately 3 feet inside the existing garage door that still allows the garage door to be opened. And then a 36-inch pass door in the new wall. So the people that came and looked at it last year, we talked about it and how to keep that garage door intact because of the historical significance of that. And that was the thought, was to just frame a new wall inside of that garage door. And so there'll be 3 or 4 feet in there. And that would seal off the interior, and then there'd be a regular pass door in that wall.
And are the pass doors of sufficient width to make us ADA compliant?
So I specified 36 inches on that, and I'll have to check with the ADA, but I think that's what's required.
And as long as we're trying to be ADA compliant, do we need to consider doing something to get them from Sam Lake parking lot? You know what I'm getting.
And that was the thought, was we would put some kind of sidewalk, a hard top, whether it would be, ledge pack to start with, and then pave it, or concrete or something at some point in the future. But once we get the bids in on the construction, then we can determine what we can afford to do as far as the sidewalk over there.
And the only other thing was alarm. Burglar fire.
Yeah, and that's in the bid. We would under the electrical portion, we would have to have an alarm connected to the existing alarm. Well, in fact, I got the alarm company coming out on Thursday to make sure our panel can be upgraded to take into that building.
Okay.
So Ken, would that 3 foot inside wall, so the garage door still allows it to be operated, but it's just going to be able to roll back and forth, it's not going to have access into the building, right?
Well, you could roll it all the way in. There'll be a space in the wall. If you're looking at the building, there'll be a space on the right-hand side of the building between, there'll be actually be a false wall there. So to allow that door to roll all the way back if you wanted to open it for some reason.
Like a pocket door?
No, well, if you look at that, if you went inside that building and looked at it, that whole door rolls from the left side to the right side of the building as you're looking on it.
Okay.
It's on a track. And so that's what the interior looks like.
And that doesn't compromise that 3 feet inside, that's
No,
still
no.
like 24 feet deep in there, so we still have a lot of room for
Yeah, that would give us approximately 20 feet inside.
17 by 12 or something like that, 15 by 20.
What type of fire door do you have to have on that? A 90-minute? What, is there a rule for document storage?
I'm not sure because I'm gonna talk with Joel, the code enforcement and the fire department about that. Because of the potential ignition sources, I'm not sure what's required. Because there really aren't gonna be, I guess, the only potential ignition source is gonna be from or the outside of the building, I guess. I guess there will be electrical in there, but there'll be some outlets and some lights. But from the outside, I'm not sure what's gonna be required. My guess is that we'd put a steel fire door in there.
Cause I'm just curious, like depending on what fire code or what, whatever the rules are for, I don't know, document storage rules, it's gonna really dictate how you build the interior, what you can insulate it with and what's more fire suppressive versus, pink insulation versus rock wool, or, you look at cement siding and I think I underlined finger jointed and primed. How long do we wanna maintain this for? Because there's certain materials on there that I can tell you right now, finger jointed trim, you're gonna get 3 to 5 years out of it, it's not getting painted every year. Cement board, if it's not properly installed, kiss it goodbye in 2 years.
Right,
Right. Cedar's about $15 a square foot right now for clapboards.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of, is there any way we can change potentially what we do on the exterior? Could we go?
Yeah, I did talk to the HDC and they felt as long as we, at least the chair thought that as long as we kept the design the same, the material wasn't a big factor as long as it wasn't vinyl.
Yeah, right.
And the only other thing would be, has anybody yet has lead reared its ugly head? If they find lead anything.
Yeah, and again, that's something we're gonna have to look at and make a determination on, and that'll be up to the contractor and if, they find something that we have to mediate, then we'll have to go with that.
Yeah, I can't imagine, there's nothing in there that's painted, it's just exterior. So, however they do that, it won't be like the mediation they had to do on the apartment, there's not kids in there chewing on the molding, so
Right.
I think we're probably okay.
The
We'll
only
find
issue
out.
with that is if you touch the exterior, you own it. So you either get rid of the entire exterior or have it immediately.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's really gonna push a cost on it. Then
Yeah.
what happens if nobody bids on this by May?
I don't know. I'm hoping that we get some bids on it. But, obviously we're gonna put it out, we'll put I think on the cover letter. I put out that, the bidding process will open April 7th after you guys okay this, and we'll close on May 1st. And if we don't get any bids by May 1st, then we'll have to do something else. We're gonna advertise on the website, town email, and then try and make some phone calls to some local contractors who we worked with before.
Well, if you have a list of people that you've worked with before, give them a heads up too, correct? Is that legit to do that? To
Yeah,
say,
like I say, it's gonna be a sealed bid process. We will notify, we'll post it and then notify some contractors that we've worked with, and that's that's all we can do.
No, hypothetical, with tariffs and cost of goods going up, what if they come in at 80 and by the time the project starts, the budget's busted? What do we stop the project in its tracks? How does that process work?
well, we do know we're gonna be getting money out of the trust every year that has to be spent on that property.
Right, but once you start rolling on a project,
Well,
you
yeah.
can't have half of it drywalled and, you
No.
gotta complete it, so do we have the
So-
ability?
So this is not a big project. I GC'd the renovation and the rebuild of the Sam Lake House. And I'm pretty confident that I can GC this job, and if we start running into, potential overruns, then we'll determine what's a good stop point, and then go back in next year or the year after and finish the project. And certainly we'll report back to the residents how things, if we have to stop for some reason, why, and justify what's going on.
So long as it doesn't look haunted, I think most people will be content,
No,
even if we need to.
Yeah,
finish-
I think the first part would be to get the outside done, the roof, all the siding and the windows, and get it tightened up. And then if we have to stop, it would be the inside where we would stop.
Further discussion or questions?
No, I think we're good. Well, I'm good, Calvin?
No, those are my questions.
Sure, yeah.
What do we do tonight on this? Or we just wait?
If you guys are okay with that cover letter and the scope, then I'll get that out as soon as possible.
And we don't have to sign that, correct?
Nope,
Or-
nope.
No,
No,
that's
not
good,
until we get to the contract.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
good, all right, good. All right, draft code of ethics/conduct.
We did have more verbiage,
Okay,
just for.
so different from what you had,
Yeah, just, I found a set of notes that, again, I don't know if anybody, wanted to include anything. Did I do it? Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you wanna look at it now, I can email it to you, but I found it as I was,
yeah,
again, getting ready for tonight. This is from a previous version, and it's just, if nothing else, it had a nice, preamble to
yeah,
why we might do any of this.
yeah.
That's that.
I guess the only potential issue I might see is if you think about the select board and the makeup of it. If you're contacting fellow board members, that may constitute a meeting depending on,
Oh, yeah, that could be definitely worded differently.
but I think in our other boards, that are larger.
Yeah, so contact is not the correct word there. What would be the best way to do this? If you had comments, is it best to do it like we do minutes?
I think so, through Cal, you're suggesting, rather than
Uh,
communicating directly with each other.
Yeah, if you all give me the feedback, I can combine it into one
Yeah.
document and send it out.
Yeah,
And then again, and we can just do revisions like that.
Yeah.
I'll send out the next one, you give me feedback, I combine it.
I think that's a good way to do it.
okay. That might actually be the only way we can do it unless we sit,
Without, yeah,
well, unless we sit here and pour through it, which I think is just cumbersome.
right,
Unless there was any big comments that anybody had,
no, I
one way or
mean,
the other.
I think certainly generally I like this, the preamble. The only exception would be that last bullet point,
Yes,
but all the rest looks and sounds really good, so.
and what about well, again, the two questions I had was one, how to any kind of enforcement or anything, I don't know how possible that is, but I think we really need to think about how we want to address that.
Right. So Ken, am I correct, committees serve at the pleasure of the select board? With the planning board, who else are elected?
So the
Library, right, which is a completely
is-
separate,
yeah, the only ones you have authority over are the appointed boards. The elected boards, you don't have any authority over.
they're elected,
Um,
accountable to the, same as we are, really.
Correct.
So even for us, we can't say, really, if you turn out to be a stinker, we
Sure,
can't,
you can publicly censure me.
I
You could.
guess. Yes,
Yeah,
but
and I guess so I look at it as I look at this document, it should say this is how you should act, and I'm not sure whether we should even include anything on consequences. This is a guideline for how we hope you act, and if something happens, then if it's an appointed committee, then you guys address it at that point, and if it's an elected official, then there's really not much you can do about it unless they've done something illegal.
Yeah.
So I'd almost say you don't put consequences on here, and, just, it's more of a reminder, this is how we should act. We're all adults, we're all trying to volunteer and help our town, so let's all do it respectfully. I go back to what Jim Miller says at the start of every of the last few town meetings, and says, and I think, Beth, you've hit on this here, that yeah, you can have difference of opinion, but do it respectfully, that's all.
Right.
and that's why I kinda like this preamble, this one I just handed out tonight, because it's more, this is what we really aspire to.
Mhm.
This- if you're going to sign up for a town committee, that we, show up, do the work.
Right.
And do it respectfully, and I think that, put it in 3 bullet points, that would,
Yeah, it might be better, the shorter it is, the better it might be.
well, that's what, I thought it was very interesting that the Columbia Law School, said, avoid the legal language. Some of the ones that other towns were disastrously complicated, in language, and I think, nobody appreciates that, and no one's going to read it, and quite frankly, the point here is to have people read it and
Yep.
relate to it. So basically,
Simple, plain English.
yeah, so I would agree, especially if there's no real good enforcement mechanism, you put it in there is silly then.
Right.
So, yeah, we just hope, this is what we aspire to, and and I'm not sure if it's in the part I just handed out or in here, but the fact that, you know, we're all responsible for making sure that we behave. So if you're on the committee and you see somebody who's really acting out, you know, you really need to step up and
At least, say something.
at least say something.
Yeah,
It's part of
calling
working
out for
together,
bad behavior.
but. Alright, so Cal, you'll have this, and what shall we plan for?
So email me, cause you have the most current draft.
Yeah.
So
Right.
just all three of you email me within the next week maybe, and
Yeah.
then I'll combine them, send them out, and then.
Yeah. So why don't we add this to our agenda each time until we're done?
Okay,
I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
You know, cause it, as we both know, it languished a bit last year because we had so many other
it did,
priorities, but I think we should make this a
but I think
priority.
this is fairly close anyway.
Yeah,
And the only other thing is this, the part at the end of with the individual boards. And again, I don't know, Cal, if you're going to be addressing any of that at your right to know seminar, like the responsibility of individual boards for basically figuring out how to do their own job and doing it.
Yes, there will be some of that.
Yeah.
And
So, you know, maybe if it's even a bullet point for each committee to say, this is what you really need to have to function. You need a mission statement.
Yeah.
You all need to know what the current mission statement is, and you all need to agree to that mission statement. I mean, that's pretty basic.
yeah,
So, and they can just use it as a checklist.
yeah. The only slight heartburn I just got when you said that was, I think we have to guard that certain committees don't rewrite their mission statements, that they stay in their lanes. I think we've had a little of that in the last year,
Okay,
committees exceeding their authority.
well, I suppose if they're appointed committees, we can look at the mission statements and make sure they don't
I think that would also be a great idea.
Okay. Oh, and actually, this might be the time, well, here, but also in the beginning part of the conversation where you're talking about committee assignments.
Mhm.
That I meant to bring up then is that I think it's important that if we're on a Board of Selectmen rep, that if we come back and report to the board,
Yep, I actually had that,
that it might be the time when the department heads come in and, you know, just go around and say, okay, anybody have anything, because I think this year we also found ourselves slightly blindsided by a few committees and
more than
decision-
slightly in some cases.
yeah, and I think it would behoove the reps to let us know
I
what's
agree.
going on. It, you know, not the data, you know, not the little stuff, but,
Yeah.
you know, you should know. Heads up FYI, as we say in my
Right.
family. Our
Right.
committee is thinking about, you know,
Yeah.
something that's gonna show up on your desk.
Yeah, and I think certainly, with respect to the planning board, we have that potential for that large development in exit 18.
Yeah,
And I suppose I'll start off the reporting part by just saying, at the first organizational meeting we had, that was a work session. So there was no discussion on that, nothing new with that, but certainly that item alone, I think bears discussion, amongst our select board,
yeah,
so.
Just curious, and this could be totally tangential, cause I saw the agenda for tomorrow.
Yeah.
How does the new state zoning laws that passed, I think they're waiting for the governor's signature,
They
how
are.
will that impact? And how fast does that impact the town? Do we have a time to brace for impact, or is it just gonna happen?
I'm not sure, Ken, do you have any info on that?
So, NHMA keeps sending out notices on all of these. I just got a legislative alert today, that these are, a lot of the bills have made it through the House or made it to the Senate. The crossover day is next week. And that's when the bills passed in one house go to the other and they get approved, and then it goes to the governor's desk. NHMA is lobbying heavily against a lot of these proposed bills that take away the authority of the municipalities. But from what I can understand, it's kind of fighting a losing battle at this point. There have been no none of them have been signed yet. Once they are signed, they will have effective dates on them. And that'll give us, a little more information on what our planning board can do and what they can't do.
But we still have to deal with the issue that some of our own ordinances have changed since that developer made their original presentation to the town, so
Correct,
we've gotta deal with that too.
yes.
Be superseded
Yeah.
by the new state laws, which
Yeah.
would swipe of a pen just eliminates 4 years' work.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, one of the bills, basically says that, it will allow residential construction in commercial zones by right. It doesn't have to follow any mixed-use design or anything like that. Basically, they are gonna allow residential construction in commercial zones, which that's what that is down there at exit 18. So that would, um, I guess, reduce our planning board's ability to have any kind of control over the need for, a mixed-use development down there.
Now, out of curiosity, do our ordinances concerning cluster development still hold? Like, yes, it may be residential and commercial, but can we group it and apply those density calculations, blah, 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 so that it's not, they can't fill that entire parcel with houses?
I'm not sure. It depends on what the final language of the bills is that goes to the governor for signature. And, there's over 32 bills in the House right now that deal with, uh, planning, zoning, housing. So it's kind of difficult to follow up on all of them. But, I'm trying to keep abreast, and if there's something that comes along once it gets passed, we'll have to look at the details and probably get some kind of legal opinion on how that affects us.
Have we been able to weigh in as a town at all with our opinion about these bills? Like we were with, what did we just do,
Yeah, NHMA, has been asking, municipalities, individuals to contact their state reps to, you know, give you the other opinion on these. I think you guys did on one of the bills that I had given you. Sent a letter to the state reps. I never heard back. It's rare that you do hear back on a lot of these. I'll look at them, and if there's anything that I think that, that you might have an impact on, I'll certainly forward it up to you guys and see if we can draft a letter, from the Board of Selectmen to the state reps on an individual bill.
Yeah, you never heard back? That is rare, because when I weighed in individually, it's a form letter, but it comes right back.
Yeah.
At least. So, yeah, if we had any, if we had other way to weigh in as a town for what it's worth department, I think we should. Cause that would, yeah, whew,
If only they listened.
well,
Yeah.
enough of us do, who knows? Anyway,
Alright, any further discussion? Otherwise, it looks like, KMS Actuaries is next on the agenda.
Yeah, one last thing, if you remember last year during budget, I talked about, and when we were audited, our auditors suggested that we, in order to comply with, the general accounting, practices, that we hire an actuary to go over our retirement benefits. And, so I had a proposal from this KMS group. During the budget process, somehow we forgot about this, for budgeting for this contract with them. It was $5,000 that was gonna, look back for 2024 and do 2025. And then it was a 4-year contract, and then the next 2 years, it was gonna be $1,500 to do this. We did not budget for it. I forgot to, it was one of those things that in the budget process, somehow it slipped through and we missed it. I talked to our auditors and asked what the consequences are. Basically, in the letter that we get, we have the audit, and in the letter that we get from the auditors, it's a managerial letter, and it basically spells out that we're not in compliance with what they call GASB 75. Again, we haven't been in compliance for several years. It's just something they point out. There's no fines, there's really no consequences to this other than they spell it out in the management letter. So, I didn't know if you guys wanted to, uh, wait until October and see what our budget looks like. And if we have some extra money, go ahead and contact KMS and say, we've got the budget for it, but it looks like we're gonna have some money. Want to start it now? We have vacancies right now that we're not funding, or they're funded, but we're not paying. So my guess is, at the end of the year, we'll have that money. Again, it's a bottom line budget and we should have that money. So if you wanted to say, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and move ahead with this project now. Uh, my guess is, that we'll have that money now at the end of the year. Or if you want to wait until later on in the year and say, all right, we've made it almost to the end of the year, and we have some money left over, let's go ahead and do it now. Not sure how you guys want to proceed.
We have a vacant position now for full-time officer in the police department.
Correct. The part-timer at the transfer station.
Right, part-time at the transfer.
Yep. And we really have a full-timer at the highway department.
Yeah, yeah. So certainly, this is just my opinion, and feel free to disagree, but I'm comfortable moving ahead now as opposed to later on. We know the difficulty we've had hiring officers in the past, and unless Chief Crotty's got somebody that he hasn't talked to me about, just in the savings so far, we've almost got the 5,000 right there.
Yeah, I agree. I think, that, and again, it's something that there is no real consequence to, but it's something that I think we should be doing.
Agreed.
But we had agreed to do it. I could be swayed either way. My original thought was if there's no consequence and everybody knows, one, we plan to do it, two, the actuary knows, three, the auditors know, and they know we're planning to do it, whether we do it now or be careful with the money and wait till September and do it, we're still going to do it, and it's not like we're talking about insuring somebody who might have a health event. We're talking about crunching the numbers to make sure, we are in compliance. But if they're comfortable, knowing that we're gonna do it, we've got the money, and if the actuaries say, yeah, we can start in September. But if you're, again, if you're confident that, well, we have the money, either spend it then or spend it now, I'd rather make sure we have it, but if your best guess is we're going to have it, then.
And I guess the only concern I have with waiting is we then bump into next year's budgeting.
Well, that's true.
When things, as we all know, go kind of crazy, so. I'm just thinking in terms of workload,
Yeah,
that's all.
Calvin?
I think if you got the funds to do it, you're ready just to do it now and kind of get it out of the way.
Alright,
Alright,
okay then,
All right, I will let them know.
and we won't have that little note at the bottom of the audit.
Right.
Will be good.
yeah, I think it,
Yeah, no, that's good, I'd rather be in compliance than not,
agreed,
so.
yeah. Alright, that's I think, everything on the agenda. Ken, was there anything else we?
Nothing on the agenda there. I think we do need to go into an executive session to discuss two different personnel issues.
Alright. Do you have the,
Oh, yes, I do.
Cal always has the form.
Yes,
the thing?
I would like that back.
Of course you'll have it. Alright, so I'm gonna make a motion that we enter into a non-public session for,
I wanted dinner anyway.
there you go, thank you for coming.
Thanks,
Later.
Brian.
Come back if you,
One last question,
yeah.
do you know when you guys are lifting the road bans?
Ken, did you hear anything from, John?
I heard a
Lifting
couple
the
days, I
road
was just
ban?
hoping for a day.
He was hoping, this next week that he was gonna take it off.
Thank you.
See ya. Alright, so, I'm gonna make a motion, we enter into a non-public session per RSA 91A 2 subsection A. I believe is what applies here,
Yeah, to discuss the personnel.
to discuss the right.
Personnel.
Dismissal, promotion, compensation of any public employee or disciplining of such employee.
In a second?
Oh, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Thank you, Edgar.
Thank you, yeah.
Where did the checklist?
So, Jan, we need you to get